Hello guys and welcome here to the Jello Cup Series race number 22 here today from the Joltis Mega Speedway. Today we present to you the Seagrams 400. I'm Brian here in the booth with you. Starting from the pole will be Parker Smith in the number 88, and to his outside will be Nate Rattray in the number 24. Of course, this is the second season where we have not had this race as the regular or as the overall championship 4 race, but that doesn't mean this race is any less significant. Of course, we're just coming off a double points race over at Indianapolis, which saw Parker Smith get the victory, I believe. So still, again, a lot of these guys wanting to rebound, and of course, one is none other than Mitchell Collins in the number 22. Of course, he got kind of involved in a wreck early, and that dropped him out of the top 33 and allowed Tim Horton to climb into the top 33. So this is a battle that's going to bear watching, especially because Mitchell Collins, he's now in a position where he cannot miss a race. If he misses a race, it may very well cost him a playoff opportunity, especially if he misses the doubleheader at Pocono next week. Because, again, we are, after today, only 4 races till the Jello Cup Series playoffs, and he needs to get not only into the top 33, but the top 30 in order to lock himself into the playoffs. So he's going to need a lot of help today. And of course, again, this being race 22, it's go time now because, again, and it's a tough go time because today, of course, is a mega speedway. Anything could happen. We could see the big one. We saw it earlier tonight in the truck race. We could also see some craziness at Pocono that could change everything. Pocono is our final doubleheader of the season. Then, of course, you got a road course and you got Darlington all coming your way. So still a lot that could happen. And these guys very well aware that they've got to make something happen. And we'll see what happens as we get ready to get going for race number 22 of the season. Let's roll the intro, and we'll be back with the green flag here on GCN in just a moment. Your GCN presentation starts right now. Here we go. Pace car gonna peel off. Parker Smith, Nate Rattray, they're leading us down the front straight. The green flag is out. We're underway at Joltis. Parker Smith gets out to the early advantage. Diego Yepes up to second. Again, some of these guys ran earlier tonight in the truck race here at Joltis, which of course was won by Jackie Smith in the 00. I believe her 4th win of the season as Diego Yepes goes to the race lead. And keep in mind, Diego Yepes, Scott Upton, 2 of our former champs, in the most danger of missing the playoffs. So these guys wanting to have a good race here today. And Diego Yepes, no stranger to winning on super speedways. His first few wins came at Daytona and Talladega. And we'll be right back in a moment here. My apologies, guys. Just wanted to be sure my mic was working. I had to reset my computer today. But Diego Yepes out of turn 4. Will he lead the first lap? It's going to be a close battle between him and Parker Smith. And Parker Smith will lead the opening lap. Again, as mentioned, after today we have the doubleheader at Pocono. Then we've got Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, our final regular season road course race. And then we go to Darlington to settle the regular season championship. Of course, that race not a throwback race. I should stress it is not a throwback race. We already had our throwback race earlier this season. Of course, that was the Goodyear 400. As Parker Smith still leading. And you see a lot of these guys riding up along the wall. Kind of the same that we saw in the truck race where they're 4 or 5 wide back there. Again, this track wide enough to do that, which is why we're not getting too excited. Oh, but they're close to touching. The 10, Carter Joey. The 4, Zach Fitzwater. He's another one who could use a big win here today. Mitchell Collins in that mix. We mentioned Mitchell Collins cannot afford a DNQ. What about a DNF and a last place finish? Another thing that 22 team cannot afford to happen. And we also would like to take a moment and apologize for the lack of changing in paint schemes. It's just, let's face it again, with the way things have been, me recording last second, I just needed to get these races out and worry less about the smaller things. So that's kind of why we haven't changed paint schemes the last few weeks. Just because, again, I'm literally recording the day before. Because that's just kind of how my schedule has worked out the last few weeks. Smith goes low. Now here comes the 99 to get second. And keep an eye on Scott Upton again. He needs a win, and a big win, to get into the playoffs. But now here comes the 17 of Casey Horton. The 17 will take the race lead away, with help from the 48 of Austin Shaw. And Austin Shaw, he could absolutely use a second win to get into the playoffs. That would certainly help his case. We've had a lot of one-time winners this season, not really any two-time winners this season. Also coming up through the field is Mitchell Collins in the 22 on that low lane. But the 17 for now, the race leader. This race 10 laps longer than the race they ran earlier this evening. And I also apologize for having this premiere during the Coke 0400. I know you guys the guys watching the premiere probably watching this race as well. Again, I apologize. I'm going to try to maneuver the schedule now so that way it doesn't interfere with the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. But of course, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks here. Boy, Scott Upton looking all over, trying to take the lead away. And now he's going to get help on the outside from the one of Tyler Faden, who's been in the mix the last few weeks here, but really hasn't come away with a victory. Could today be that day? Here comes Nathan Faden as well. Another one in need of a big win to punch his ticket into the playoffs. Oh, someone blew up back there. Let's go high above and see who. The 51 Maximus King. And good job of getting out of the way of these leaders here. Something happened to the 24 of Nate Rattray as well. Your outside pole sitter, tough break for him. And for Maximus King, the end of the day for him. An unfortunate ending. Something also happened to the 47 of Tim Randolph. Not a good day for him either. And that might have also separated this pack, of course. A 4.9 mile mega speedway here. Very, very tough on the engines. And you see the Chevys having issues with engines early. And you gotta wonder, could this plague Scott Upton? Could this plague the 37 especially, or any of the other Rick Ware cars in the field? Such as Joey Trickle, and I believe Sebastian Bennett is the other one that made today's race. So something to monitor as we keep going here, especially the Hendrick cars, because keep in mind the 47 has a technical alliance with Hendrick Motorsports. Here we go, Scott Upton looking for the lead. He's not gonna quite get the drafting help he needs, so he might stall out here. Now he's really got no help. That could cost him the second position and possibly the third position. No one wanting to help the former champ. And now they'll go down and help him. Here goes Scott Upton. He won't lead the lap, but he'll get some help this time from the 53. of Sebastian Bennett. And he might just be able to clear for the race lead. And in fact, he will. So Scott Upton, the defending champ, to the race lead. But now he's under pressure from Sebastian Bennett in the number 53. And I believe the 53 will clear now. And he will. Sebastian Bennett to the race lead now. Spencer Mills up to second. Alexander Rowe up to third. And keep an eye on that 29 as well of Alexander Rowe. Three of our former champs, and none of them are in the playoffs at this point in the season. Which is kind of troubling, because that means we might just have 16 new drivers looking for a championship. See Scott Upton trying to fake out the 53. Didn't quite do it there, and Alexander Rowe looking to the inside. Two of our most recent champions battling for second. And there you see Scott Upton going to close the door on the 29. Now he's going to put the pressure once again on Sebastian Bennett. He's going to try to beat him to the outside lane with no success. Now the crossover. Will he get the help from the 29? It looks like maybe. And Scott Upton to the race lead once again. One thing of note, the rookies have dominated these restrictor plate races all year. I mean, Joey Trickle, even though he wasn't quite a Daytona 500 rookie, it was his second ever start in the 500, but nonetheless, 7 seasons, 7 series rookies winning the 500. And then, of course, you got Simon Davis, who won at Talladega. As you see, the 53 beat the 99 to that outside lane. Man, look at this battle for the lead. Sebastian Bennett just won't go away. But yeah, of course, the series rookies, I mean, like I said, Joey Trickle, Simon Davis, Skylar Martins. As the caution's out. Austin Shaw with damage. I don't quite know what happened, but let's go see. Well, we expressed our concerns after the 47 Tim Randolph went out with an engine issue, and now it's the 37, his teammate Spencer Mills, with an issue. He cuts low, tries to get out of the way of the guys racing for the positions there, and unfortunately Austin Shaw didn't quite see what was going on, didn't have the time to react. He gets into the back of the 37. Mitchell Collins also gets a bit of damage from this. We'll see if this impacts him. But a tough break for Austin Shaw and a lucky break for Nate Rattray, who was well behind the race leaders. Let's go get you back to the green right now. Well, with longer races means a chance for pit stops to happen. I try to usually avoid having pit stops on these kinds of tracks, but that doesn't mean they can't happen. And everyone but Daniel Bouchard coming in. I guess I'm glad it happened under caution. You see pit road speed at 70 miles an hour. Fuel only for the 99. And he gets a little held up by the 8. But he beats out the 53. Oh, the 18 and the 19 getting together, coming to the pit lane. That's a tough break for them, but let's take you back to the green in just a moment. In turn 4 now, the race leader, Daniel Bouchard. Then you got Trevor Collins in second, Mitchell Collins in third, Michael Collins in fourth. Scott Upton rounds out your top 5, but these guys probably going to have to pit sooner or later. And there it goes. The 22 coming in, the 42 and the 7 having some issues. Not good for Mitchell Collins as the green flag waves. Again, for Mitchell Collins, this is going to put him well outside of the draft. He might need another caution to help him out. But for Michael Collins, 2 wins this season. Trevor Collins, none yet. And same for Daniel Bouchard. These guys probably going to be battling hard here. But again, they're going to have to figure out a way to make it to the finish, which is not going to be an easy task. And I wonder if the 5 might have jumped that start, because look at how far ahead he got. Here comes the 53. You see the 9 kind of hung out on that outside. And you saw there Alexander Rowe. Right before the restart, you saw Alexander Rowe had an issue. He is done for the day, the infamous tire issue. Tough break for him. Of course, this is going to put him in quite a difficult position as we enter the final 4 races of the regular season. The battle up front intensifies. There's Tim Horton. He's the first of the cars that did pit. Second of the cars that did pit. Of course, Sebastian Bennett is the first one in that 53. And for Tim Horton, he just got into the top 33 in the points. And a good result today could move him close to the top 30. And a win could lock him into the playoffs. Talk about a big point swing late in the season. Casey Horton now in front of the 53, and he might be the first of the cars that pitted already. Frankly, I'll still never understand why the 5 of Daniel Bouchard and all three of the Collins drivers stayed out under that caution. Again, I mean, I'm all for pit strategy, but this is not the track to be gambling with those kinds of strategies. Again, because now, I mean, let's face it, it's a one-stop race only. At best, it's not like you benefit from this in any way, shape, or form. You know, if a caution comes out, you might get back into the battle, but you're probably going to end up salvaging a top 20 at best. And that's assuming you get a second caution. Tim Horton now to second. And again, I'm pretty sure he's the one waiting on that 5 to pit. Because if that 5 pits, it'll allow Tim Horton to take the race lead here. Dead ahead to 37. This could change things right now. I don't know how he's still on the racetrack, but we got ourselves a lap traffic moment presented by Fitzwater's Angriness. And you see that was settled rather quick amongst the leaders. But back behind, he's holding up a lot of cars, and this is not good considering how close these guys were racing and how much trek that he has to get out of the way. Daniel Bouchard still leading. And obviously the other question is, did he short pit and did we just not see it? Because that is very much a possibility that this 5 might have short pitted. And you see here they're trying to run in a straight line, maybe hoping to escape that big pack behind them. See Scott Upton leading that pack behind as we come to 5 laps of racing to go. I believe the 5 is coming in, so is the 07. The 17, the 99, all not going to make it on fuel. So Nicholas Jowett will cycle around to the race lead. And Scott Upton pitted under that caution. So now, I don't know who could make it to the end. There's your top 5, and look on back. You see the leaders coming off the pit lane. Do these guys that stayed out have enough to get to the finish? Of course, right now it is Nicholas Jowett, Joey Trickle, Zach Fitzwater in 3rd. And you see the Haas car is going to go low. 4 to go this time. You see the 10 of Carter Joey not going to make it to the finish on fuel. The one thing that could change everything is if we get a late caution, of course. And that could put everyone back in the battle. But Zach Fitzwater up to second, Nicholas Joweit the leader. If I'm not mistaken, the 41 already has a win this season. The 4 does not. And Zach Fitzwater tied up top that all-time wins list with his good friend and fellow Australian driver, Nate Rattray. This win, again, he comes in here in the top 20 in the standings. A win could put him in the playoffs and change his fortune in kind of a wildly inconsistent season, uncharacteristic inconsistent season. But of course we'll see as we get to the final stages of this race. We're going to have 3 to go this time. Joweit, Fitzwater, Trickle. That's how they run right now. And for Fitzwater, the question will obviously be, when does he make that move? You see the 15 looking low. Maybe he's trying to drag it a little bit, try to get his teammate into this battle, and have it be a Rick Ware and Stuart Haas battle to the finish. Because you got 2 Stuart Haas's, you've got 2 Rick Ware cars, 3rd and 4th, and now you've got 2 Penske cars, 5th and 6th. This could be a battle amongst teammates to the finish of this race. Whose teammates work better together? The pack is back assembled. Here goes Sebastian Bennett. He's probably had the strongest car all day. They're coming up on the 7, a lapped car, with 2 to go. And if the 7 doesn't have any damage, this could make for an interesting battle. How's about this? Sebastian Bennett with a chance to play spoiler here. Fitzwater slides into 3rd. But again, for Sebastian Bennett, he's outside the top 33. A win by him does nothing to change the playoff running order. And now he's going to look for the lead. His teammate going to follow, though. We're going to have a lap traffic moment. Put his face on the screen, guys. It's Fitzwater's angriness. And now the 7 changes everything. And guess what? The 7 can get up to speed, which really changes everything as Sebastian Bennett to the race lead. As this time by, the white flag will wave. It's going to be 1 lap of racing to go, presented by Mitchell's Memes. Dylan Young looking inside. He's not going to get there. Another guy, he could use a win to make the playoffs. Sebastian Bennett again, well outside of the playoff battle. a win does nothing to put him in because he's that far out. There goes the 2 looking low. He's got the momentum, but he doesn't have the help behind. Here goes the 8. They're catching the 42 of Befode Sacco, and this could really change the battle. Oh boy. Dylan Young looking high. Will he cross over low? They'll get around the 42. As we're in turn 4. I just don't think he has the time to get there. And out of 4, Sebastian Bennett is going to play spoiler. He's going to win at Joltis. Rookie domination on these plate tracks this season. Of course, this win does nothing to change the playoff order. But congratulations to the 53, a much needed win after what's been kind of a rough season. And now the only Rick Ware driver that has yet to win a race is that 51 of Maximus King. Something to keep in mind as we get into the latter stages of the season here. But of course, 3 of those cars well out of the playoff running order. So their wins are essentially just to try to salvage what's been a bad season. We want to thank you for watching. We're going to show you results and your standings, and we'll be back for the doubleheader at Pocono next weekend. Until then, goodbye everyone.